best from LG, the best from Apple. We have the LG V30 against the Apple iPhone X. And let's go and power them both on. Now I have to say guys, over the past year, the LG brands went from one of my least favorites to one of my favorites. I felt the LG 6, LG V30, huge improvement over previous LG phones. Whereas Apple, the iPhone is of course iPhone, very well established, excellent phones. And the iPhone first one to boot up with the LG about a second behind. Alright guys, so we have a lot of different testing planned, and next up let's go over the specs. Both phones have excellent OLED screen displays on them. A bit larger on the LG at 6.0 inches versus 5.8. Also high resolution at 537 pixels per inch versus 458. On the front you have a 5MP camera on the LG and a 7MP on the iPhone. Both phones have two cameras on the back, on the LG 16 and 13MP, and on the iPhone both of them are 12MP. Now the second camera on the iPhone is used for zoom and on the LG is used for wide angle. We'll be showing you guys front and rear facing camera comparisons later in the video. Internal storage on the LG is 64GB and on the iPhone either 64 or 256. Now the LG does have micro SD card support while the iPhone is not. You have a larger battery on the LG at 3300 capacity versus 2716, and we'll be doing a battery life test in the future. On the LG, Snapdragon 35 and 4GB of RAM, and on the iPhone, A-RAM chipset and 3GB of RAM. Both phones are waterproof, although higher certification on the LG, IP68 versus IP67. At the bottom, you have USB Type-C on the LG and a Lightning port on the iPhone. And on the LG, you do have a headphone jack, a great feature that you do not have on the iPhone. Looking at the back, beautiful designs on both, amazing designs. And on the LG, you do have a fingerprint scanner right here, on the iPhone you don't. But as you guys see, all glass designs, again, gorgeous designs here. Alright everyone, so let's go and continue with the rest of the test now. So everything closed out on both, and next up we have the apps and games opening. Getting started with NBC. And slight advantage there for the LG. Spotify. LG. YouTube. Again, LG here, and you guys see iPhone X ad. eBay. Again, LG off to an excellent start. Next up we have iFunny. And once again we have the LG here. Amazon Shopping. LG. Photos. And this one going to the iPhone. Alright guys, next up we have 4 different games, and the first one is Temple Run 2. And iPhone usually does pretty well with the games. And this looks like a narrow edge here for the iPhone. Next up we have Subway Surfers. Yeah, lightning quicker on the iPhone, but the LG is about half a second behind. Super Mario Run. And this one going to the LG. And final app here we have Asphalt 8. But of course a lot more tests during this video. And again, so the iPhone here, so the iPhone winning 3 out of 4 games, with the LG doing an amazing job with the basic apps. Next up, let's take a look at AnTuTu. So obviously guys, much higher score on the iPhone, 228,000 versus 173. But as I always mention in my iPhone videos, AnTuTu is a bit better optimized for iOS and Android. So take it for what it's worth, but regardless, amazing score on the iPhone. Sunset Earling, no copyright. And that's right guys, next up we have the speaker test. So on the LG you have 1 speaker, on the iPhone you have 2. And first up, LG. And now the iPhone. Just waiting for a train in the background to go by. And last time. Alright guys, let me know what you think. Personally I do prefer the iPhone speakers, although the LG are still pretty good. Now guys, generally at this time we do a fingerprint scanner test, but on the iPhone 10, no fingerprint scanner on it. You do have the Face ID to unlock. And personally guys, I definitely do prefer using fingerprint scanner as opposed to Face ID. I may need to get used to it, I may need to use it more, but at this point definitely do prefer the fingerprint scanner. But also try to do some sort of a test here. Trying to make it as realistic as possible. And bear with me guys, first time doing this, but obviously very different motion, so a bit hard to do. And it's one more time. So again, I do much prefer the method for just using fingerprint scanner. Now I will say if you have the iPhone, you can kind of do raise to wake and then just swipe up like that and look at it. So maybe a bit more fluent than you saw here for the iPhone in actual use. But I will say overall, definitely think faster here on fingerprint scanner. So next up we have web browsing of Chrome versus Safari. And first up we have IGN. And IGN has been very slow this morning. But this one should go to the LG once this image here loads up. And actually that one going to the iPhone. Next up we have IMDb. And this one going to the LG. So two more was LG and Apple. And LG fittingly going here to the LG. And last up we have Apple.com. And ironically, this one going to the LG, so I think overall narrow margin for the LG for the web browsing. So last up we have multitasking, and let's go into one of the games first. Trying out Super Mario Run. Excellent there on both. Another tough one here in Asphalt 8. And once again, very, very good here on both phones. Let's try out Temper on 2. Excellent. Subway Surfers. Once again, very good here on both phones. Let's go back to the beginning here of Spotify. Very, very good. Next will be a iPhone. And narrow margin for the LG, but again, excellent on both. All the way back towards the beginning here with NBC. And refreshing right now on the LG. And okay, so actually this one going to the nope, never mind. So right now it's refreshing on the iPhone. eBay. Amazon shopping. And narrow margin for the iPhone. And one final one, let's do Chrome versus Safari. And again, looks like narrow margin for the iPhone, but overall, multitasking, I think, very split. Next up, we have camera speed. I'm going to bring in Yarn Yoshi for this. And right after this, I'm going to show you guys front and rear facing camera comparisons. So both pretty quick, looks like the iPhone a tad faster. Although sometimes a bit faster on the LG. And now for this a brief comparison of front-facing cameras and test out the stabilization. And now for this a brief comparison of front-facing cameras and test out the stabilization. And a quick comparison of rear-facing cameras. So a bit of rain, but fine since both these phones are waterproof. And then here's a look at the maximum zoom. And finally on the LG, the second camera is used for wide angle. And there's a look at that. And go back to the standard. Alright guys, so let me know in the comment section below which one you think won. Now I have to say, I think that the LG did a very good job in terms of the speed, but the iPhone I think did a pretty good job in terms of the cameras and the speakers. Now once the LG gets upgraded to AnTuTu Oreo, we're going to be doing a rematch between the two. And also going to be doing a battery life test pretty soon. Alright guys, if you're not already subscribed, press the bell there for more videos in the future. Again, we'll be doing a battery test, the AnTuTu Oreo update, and more. Or if you want to watch another video right now, you can press in the top left or the top right corners. And as always guys, thanks for watching.